Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out today to this webinar. My name is Grace, and I am the NSPM Assistant Student Director. And today, we're just gonna have a little webinar talking about a couple of really big organizations that you can get involved with on campus, who host a lot of really lovely events for students. And yeah, or just have really opportunities for students to participate in. So today, if the panelists want to go ahead and introduce themselves, say a little bit about where you're from, what your office does, that would be great to start us off.
I'm happy to start, though I'm sure when Katie and Tamara jump in, I'll be like, oh, I should have mentioned that too. So hi, everyone. My name is Joanne. My pronouns are she, hers. I'm the director of the Inclusion and Multicultural Engagement Office. No one ever calls us that here on campus. Everyone knows us as IME, and so feel free to call us that as well. And so our office supports all students, but putting extra love and care into our students of color, first generation students. So if neither of your parents or guardians earned a bachelor's degree, we want to put extra love and care into that community as well. Students who identify as LGBTQIA, low income, we really try to put, again, extra love into our marginalized communities. And so we do a lot of event planning, Heritage Month celebrations. We have a mentorship program that I'm sure I'll go into a little bit more later, where we take students who identify as students of color or first generation. We pair them with a mentor for the year, and then we take them away for a retreat, an all expense paid retreat. So it's a fun time in our office. We do a lot of free food events, a lot of community building. So it's a fun time. Happy to share more if anyone has any questions. But yeah, from Oregon originally, so I know all about the Portland area, Salem area, and so happy to help answer any questions about weather or getting off campus, how to enjoy Oregon as a state. So I'll leave it at that for now. Pass it to one of my colleagues.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tamara Coe. I'm the Director of Student Engagement and Special Events. I use she, her pronouns, also a fellow Oregonian. And so thank you to, if you're from Oregon, awesome to see you back in town. And so Student Engagement oversees roughly 130 student organizations. And so if you are coming to campus, you don't know what you're interested in doing, you're curious about getting involved, our office is a really great resource for you. We are located in the heart of the student center called Fowler Student Center. We are right next door to a game lounge, so we have activities there. We can connect you to our campus activities board, which is our largest programming organization on campus for our students. And just a way for you to learn about resources on campus. If you are interested in starting a student organization, but you don't see it on our website, you can come to our office. My staff can help you really figure out how to start one, how to connect and collaborate with other organizations. We oversee club sports. And so club sports has our men's and women's frisbee, we have men's golf, we have rugby, we oversee our student media board. And so our two most well-known are our student newspaper, the Mossy Log and KPH Radio. And then we just have a slew of special interest organizations. And in addition to IME, we help support our affinity groups and unions. And so definitely, we are, if you want to just learn more about campus, you want to see different events on campus, student engagement would be the place to stop by as well. And I'll pass on to Katie.
Hi, my name's Katie, she, her pronouns. I graduated Lewis and Clark in the spring of 2020, and now I'm working as the operations manager in the College Outdoors office. College Outdoors is the outdoor program here at Lewis and Clark, and we provide access to all the amazing outdoor places in the Pacific Northwest around here. We have trips that range from more active, adventurous trips like cross-country skiing, backpacking, sea kayaking, rafting, hiking, to more mellow trips like mushroom foraging and ethnobotany and edible plant tours, or weaving baskets with natural materials. And our largest and longest trips that we offer are new student trips for incoming first year students that will actually be going out in less than a month now. During the school year, we offer day trips and weekend trips, as well as fall break and spring break trips, which you can get a PE credit for if you register for the class. All of our fall semester trips are listed on our website, and you can sign up at our new office in the Fowler Student Center. And we do have a limited pool of scholarship funds that are provided by ASB, and these are awarded to high need students on a sliding scale. Once you do sign up for a trip, we have all of the gear that you need. We encourage students to bring gear of their own if they have it, but we do have all kinds of gear from rain pants and rain jackets to water bottles and skis. And our gear warehouse is located on the graduate campus. Another large part of College Outdoors are the leadership opportunities for students who choose to get involved. Our trips are entirely student-led, and consist of trip leaders and assistant leaders and student coordinators. So everyone starts out as a student coordinator and then kind of works their way up. When I came to Lewis and Clark in 2018, I went on a backpacking new student trip, knowing absolutely nothing about backpacking. And although it was very challenging, I really fell in love with the College Outdoors community and being outside in a new way. So I applied to be a student coordinator and started to move through our leadership trail, as we call it, and learned a bunch of skills from knot tying to conflict resolution and driving a 15-passenger van. So this is something that I really love about the program, is that you can come in with zero experience in the outdoors, and College Outdoors has all these resources to teach you how to become a competent leader. And one part of this training is getting your wilderness first responder certification, which is an 80-hour hands-on medical course. And we actually offer that on campus in January before the second semester begins, as well as in May after school ends. And beyond leading trips, students can get involved working in our office or in the gear warehouse, or serving on the student steering committee, the roundtable. And yeah, if you have any questions or need resources to plan trips, we have a large library of books in our office and lots of student workers who would love to talk about trips. And we also offer gear rentals for a small charge. And I think that is everything for now. Thank you for listening.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. Is there material that we want to proceed with next, or should we just open it up for questions and general thoughts?
Yeah, I'm curious. I think there's a chat feature. I'd love to know who is in the room. I see some folks maybe with similar last names. And so if there's, families here, I just love to learn more about you all, where you're coming from, how you're feeling about joining school, joining Lewis and Clark. Because clearly we all know how to have fun and on our campus. And so I'd love to learn what y'all are looking forward to getting involved with. So if y'all don't mind, just maybe in the chat, introduce yourself, where you're coming from, and how you're feeling about starting school. Is that okay?
Yeah, wonderful.
Hello, Annabelle Sampson from Olympia, Washington. Sorry, my chat, I don't know why my font is really big, so all the words kind of get jumbled up. So I'm going to do my best to read, but I constantly have to scroll. Super excited for Lewis and Clark, especially new student trips. Have you already signed up for one? Coming from Washington. Okay, Pacific Northwest. Very cool.
And there's Paul who says, curious about activities for new freshmen. So one of the things that student engagement compiles, and I can actually put that into the chat, is that we are compiling activities and events that are happening the first 2 weeks of the semester. We call it Welcome Week, even though it's technically Welcome Weeks. And so it's just the beginnings. We're adding more events as we get closer to fall, but some of the things that I always definitely recommend to our first years is our C Fair, which is Student Engagement Extravaganza Fair. And so we bring out all our student organizations and our offices to really just do a big activities fair on campus. It's the first Friday of classes, and it's a great way for first years to really just kind of speed connect with organizations on campus. And so definitely one of the things I recommend, we'll have a vendor market, also called C Market, on Saturday. And so we're bringing out local community vendors as well as a lot of our student vendors. And so a lot of our students actually create and sell their own wares, which is really cool. And so you can go there, do some shopping, do some connecting, maybe connect with another entrepreneur. And so those are just some of the things that we do for our first years. Well, questions are coming in, so give us a moment to read through them.
There's also a few questions over in the Q&A box. Sadie is from LA and is interested in KPH Radio and any more information there is on that organization. I can also talk about KPH. I do a lot with them, like on my own as a student. I have a radio show myself on there. Me and my dear friend, we talk about astrology every week, and it's really cool. And then I do a lot of stuff myself with the co-op on campus, and we collaborate a lot with KPH to host like student concerts and events, or we bring bands from off campus. And every year, KPH on their own does this really cool music festival at the end of the semester called Sunburn. We had Haley Hendricks come this last year, and that was really cool. Another question from the Q&A. Linda is a parent. Their student works at a remote summer camp, and so he cannot attend the webinar. Oh, he's sorry, didn't read that there, just taking notes. Nice to meet you, Linda. Thank you for being here. All right.
Looks like there was a question about sports and acapella groups, so thank you, Tamara. What about getting involved with theater? Do you need to be taking a class or majoring in theater to audition? I don't think you do. I know I have a few students who participated. I know a lot of the students will also direct their own production, which is really cool. So you can do anything from acting to writing lines to directing. That's as far as I know. I don't think you need to take a class. So I think there are classes you certainly can take Tamara, you unmuted. You have more information than I do.
I do know we have, one of our student orgs is a theater organization. It's called SCIT, Students for Cultural Inclusion in the Theater. And we also have, I want to say, we do have our gagged student org, which is our drag show that's heavily involved with our theater as well. And so there are definitely opportunities to be a part of theater without actually being a theater major or taking classes from theater.
One of the things I'll also say about getting involved on campus is there are lots of ways to get involved. In fact, everyone, from my experience at least, wants you to be involved with their organization, with their office, department, student club. And so for our new students, pick and choose whatever you want. And then throughout your time here, some of the things you might find more interesting than others. Just because you sign up day 1 or day 2, it doesn't mean you need to stick with it throughout the next year or the next 4 years. And so I think college is really about a time to explore your interests, meet new friends, and then reflect on your interests and think, okay, you know what, that was not what I want to do at all. And so that's totally okay. It's really important to reflect and to think about how you want to spend your time here. I always think college is what you put into it. So you can come here, you can go to class, you can go back to your residence hall and just do that for the next 4 years, or you can really get involved, build your leadership skills and your identity of who you want to be after you leave LC. So I think that's one of the beautiful things about our college is while we are small, we are a mighty school with lots of clubs. And so even if you don't have one, like Tamara said, you can start one. And so definitely want to be mindful of your time. Don't burn out, pace yourself as you're getting involved. And it's okay to drop things and pick things up throughout your time here.
So I think because since we have Grace and Katie, I'm actually going to put you both on the spot because from prior experience, I know that students love to hear from current students and from students who have graduated. So I think, if you could talk about sort of what do you know now that you wish you had done or that you wish you had done as a student prior to your current leadership roles?
That's a tough one. I definitely, of course, wished that I was involved more with different things. Like I definitely put a lot of my time into college outdoors, and sometimes I'm like, well, maybe I should have expanded that to some other things. Like I'm also really interested in art. So I spent some time, a lot of my time in the art classes, but I wish I would have kind of delved more into like more of the extracurricular art activities on campus, like what's that room called in the residence hall where you can go?
The plateau?
Yes, the plateau. I went there a few times, but it's such an awesome place. Like you can do your own ceramics there, and it just seems like a great little community. So there's so many little hidden things. So, and it's easy to get sucked into doing the thing that you really like. But I think keeping more of an open mind, especially at the beginning, is important.
Yeah, coming into my first year here, I didn't get involved like right away just because I was kind of like feeling out the motions of like what it's like to be like a college student going out this new transition, which is totally cool too. But I just so recommend that you choose something to like get involved in and just like try something, even if it's just like the second semester, like you've kind of gotten the hang of it, like join a little club. I joined our poetry club on campus and it was super lovely, met some really cool people. And then throughout like my freshman year, I really enjoyed all the symposiums that people like departments put on throughout the semester, throughout the entire school year. And so I got involved in the gender studies symposium the following year, and that was a really, really wonderful experience. And I got to like help plan things and present my own like research and stuff. And yeah, there's just so many different things. There's lots of like academic ways you can get involved too. And then I do always wish like once I started spreading my time out a little bit more, like this past year, I also like kind of fell into the same thing. Like Katie is like, oh, I just wish like I had time to put in other places, because there really are so many cool organizations that like this school has to offer. Going into like this next year, I do a lot of work with the co-op on campus. I really love what we do there. It's really great. It's a student-run coffee shop and event space. So if you're an incoming student, you can volunteer there, keep all of your tips that you make. And we also have a mobile coffee cart too that we'll get to use throughout the next part of the semester, which will be really cool. We host events like open mics and like art markets. And Katie also, I'm realizing, has a beautiful mural in the co-op that she did. So it's a wonderful like art space for students. Yeah, and getting involved there this past semester, like it's so cliche to say like brings you just to the best people, but that is probably like the highlight of my entire college experience so far. Like getting just to meet such wonderful people who want to like work on connecting and like making like events come to life just as much as like I do, and just as much as other people want to. Yeah, I don't know. I could talk up this like community we have here forever. There's something really special about the student organizations. Everyone's so cool. Even like getting to collaborate with like CAB, like getting to work with KPH and other like orgs too from the co-op is like, it's great. It's a really wonderful place to intermingle with everyone.
Thanks, Grace and Katie, for letting me put you both on the spot. Are there any reservations on students? Like is there anything you're hoping to see when you come to campus? I mean, since you have 3 offices in this room, and so, let us know what we can do to make your experience a great one and a positive one. We're super excited. We have our traditional events, but we're always looking to see how we can include more folks, have different ideas. And so this is definitely like your space to let us know like what we can do to make sure you enjoy your time at Lewis and Clark.
While y'all are thinking, I love that, Tamara, you put in your Instagram handle on there. That is a great way of getting connected. Paul, I think you asked about like where activities are listed. I don't think we have a universal calendar here at Lewis and Clark. We have an events page, which I'll put in the chat. So these are more like institutional events, but like this events that student clubs put on, I don't think they make it on here all the time. So, you can always follow this, but Instagram is really where our students are at. I'm personally not on it, but my office is. And so anytime we post an event, we post it on our Instagram. In fact, I just posted today. And so I definitely recommend, if you're not on Instagram, to get it. That way you can kind of follow all the different offices and any opportunities that they have, whether it's scholarship, free food, they're hosting an event, you can kind of stay in the know that way. And so I will go ahead and put that in the chat. And then I'll also put in IME's Instagram handle so that if y'all wanted to follow us, you're more than welcome to.
So Linda, you're asking about D&D. I'm sorry, I don't actually know what that stands for.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, I actually thought that. I was like, maybe it's not. So we don't have one, but if there is enough interest, and so one of the things that we do ask if you form a student organization is that you find 9 other students who also want to form that organization with you, and that essentially forces you to go meet 9 other people on campus who has the same interests as you.
I actually feel like D&D is pretty popular on campus. And so whether it's a formalized club or not, I hear students talk about it enough. So I know
Okay.
it's a thing. I also know staff also engage. And so while I don't know if they'll join a club, I think you can definitely easily find other students who are interested in that as well.
I actually have that movie in my queue to watch this weekend, the new one. I haven't seen it. I heard it's cute.
There's also a pretty like large amount of student organizations that new students will get to meet during the first week on campus with NSO. We have tons of programming with lots of different offices. You'll meet more like campus partners and stuff throughout the day, people like who work in like the health and wellness office, people who like work throughout campus, like these people here as well. You'll meet some like teachers and professors. And then we'll have an event with ASB, an event with the VPSL. We'll have events with, I think, our Frisbee teams on campus, with IME and Black Student Union. That's going to be super fun. Welcome dance. With GAGD, we're going to have a drag show. So there's plenty of stuff that you'll also get to see coming into the first week of life on campus. And you'll also get to see that schedule with like full details coming up during the beginning of August as well.
I'm going to ask the question of the panelists. What is your favorite kind of first event or first event that happens within the first 2 weeks of the semester?
Tamara, I just sent you my list. I'm just kidding.
I put it out there. It's on the website.
It is on the website. Yeah, so as I mentioned, our office puts extra love into our students of color, first generation students. And so the first 2 weeks, we have a BIPOC student, staff, and faculty social. So if you self-identify, you're welcome to join a community event where we can kind of see a diverse representation of various identities all in one room. And so we are inviting students, staff, and faculty from our law campus, our graduate campus, as well as the undergrad campus. So it'll be a really fun event to just see a lot of people, meet a lot of people, and kind of grow your own network. And so that's happening September 7th. I'm going to pull up the email I sent Tamara. We also have a first generation community circle. So again, if you're the first person out of your family, out of your parents to attend college, we have a smaller, more intimate event for those who identify as first generation, such as myself, to come connect about our identity and just, what does it mean to be first gen at LC? Lewis and Clark is not an easy school to get into. And so sometimes there can be challenges, especially if you don't have parents or guardians that you can kind of lean on to ask some of those questions. We just want to create a very intimate space for those folks to kind of ask those questions and to kind of get that support. So that's going to be on September 12th. And then through our office, we support Gente Latina Unida. That is the Latin A Hispanic student organization on campus, and they are bringing students to El Grito, which is an off-campus event downtown, near downtown or the city center. And so this is a Portland event, but we're GLUE, Gente Latina Unida. They're bringing students on the bus. So they're all going to travel as a community there. You don't have to identify to participate if you just kind of want to get off campus. So that we're supporting GLUE and supporting students to attend that. And then September 16th, we have our Hispanic Heritage Month dinner. For those, this is a closed event for those who do identify to be in community with others who identify and share a good meal, a home cooked meal. The students are cooking for themselves. And so we're just providing ingredients and they're going to whip all that stuff up. So should be a good time. And as I mentioned, We have our retreat coming up for any new students of color, first generation student. That would be the third weekend into the school year. And so I will put our website in the chat. So if you are interested in getting involved, you can kind of read a little bit more about that. Cool.
Grace and Katie, what are your favorite events? That's not your respective event.
Totally forgot my bad. I forgot that was the question. I was enjoying all of Joanne's lovely events and information. I love the Sea Fair, I can't lie. That has always been like my favorite event, like since I came to campus. There's really good energy. And then I don't know, I think I would just have to say NSO in general. I'm biased, but I think the Sea Fair will be very fun this year.
I was gonna say the same thing. I love the energy there too. And they bring the dogs. I don't know if you guys are doing that this year, but so fun.
That was a good reminder, Katie. Thank you. Let me get out.
It's the most important part, truly.
So for folks who may not know, sometimes the college will bring dogs on campus, or even I've seen a llama on campus once, just for some pet therapy. It's a good time.
We had goats last year too. Don't forget the goats.
I think I saw a lot, or an alpaca. I was just walking through a meeting and I was like, whoa, this thing was like eye level to me because I'm pretty short, and that was intimidating. I appreciate the question about getting involved with volunteer work or service learning. Tamara, thank you for putting the Center for Social Change and Community Involvement. Their center is right next to ours, and so we definitely collaborate often. So if you're looking to get off campus to do volunteer work, participate in an alternative break, or even develop your leadership skills, I know they have a leadership certificate. They're a great office to get connected with. If you don't know what you want to volunteer in, but you have a general idea, the director, Andrea, she can also find communities around Portland for you to get involved with, even if we don't already have a relationship with them. And so definitely get connected if you're looking to volunteer and do some service projects. I don't know why I just thought of this. We also have a very active garden club on campus. And so we have a little community garden that my colleague and I just walked down to, and we were looking for a yummy garden vegetables to pick at. And so we have like blueberries to like an apple tree to all these, amazing vegetables. And so I know that that club is pretty active. And so if you're looking into gardening or want to develop your skills, that's also a really cool club.
Yeah, right along with garden. Oh, sorry, Katie. I feel like we're gonna say the exact same thing though. Right along with Garden Club 2, there's also SEED, which is students engaged in eco defense. And they do a lot of super cool stuff on campus right now. They have 7 hives, I think, of bees. And you can learn to beekeep. You can just help take care of the general area too. They're super awesome organization. And then they do other stuff throughout campus, like sustainability efforts. They launched this new reusable, what was it, no waste laundry detergent sheets this year. Super cool. So there's even stuff like that you can get involved with that give back in a little bit more of I don't know, a tangible kind of businessy way like that. Do you folks have any other questions or any ideas of what clubs or organizations are already appealing to them if they're considering it? Well, if there are any more questions, I think this would be a great time to go ahead and close off and just end with any final information that anyone wants to share about their office.
Just put my contact info in the chat. Feel free to contact me if y'all have any questions, concerns, or just want to connect. I'm always happy to find some time to connect. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you so much. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Sorry, Grace. I love Zoom webinars. I also went ahead and just put my email in. It's super easy to remember, tko@elkhart.edu. So if you have any questions forthcoming, if there are some events that you're looking forward to, or you're wanting to see, or if you're just like, I have this idea, I don't know where to start, I don't know who to go to, please go ahead and email me. Student engagement will also be fully staffed in a few weeks, and so definitely feel free to stop by. Again, we are in the student center right below the cafeteria, formerly known as the Bone, and so there's no way you can miss us. Definitely swing by. My students are usually playing super loud music and while they're working, and so it's definitely a good time. We're right next to College Outdoor, so if you're signing up for one of those College Outdoor trips, definitely swing by our counter.
Sweet. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, swing by the College Outdoors office. We're super excited to see all the new students. We'll have a table at the Seafair, so check us out there. And we'll also be having a welcome week little get together on the second week of classes on Wednesday, September 13th. For anyone who's interested in getting involved with College Outdoors, you can come to that. More information online. And feel free to email. I left our email in the chat. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day.